All right. All right. It's noon and welcome everybody. My name, again, if you're just joining me, my name is Regina from Detroit, Michigan. Right now we're working on my Vinyasa yoga series this is part three of the intermediate. Yeah, part three of the intermediate. You did not have to take my beginner series or the first two, so it's not a continuing thing, although it kind of is because I'd like for you to be familiar with some of the yoga poses. Now, whether or not you can do the poses or not, that doesn't matter. But if you're unfamiliar, it might be a little bit much for you to keep up. But if you are new, I just want you to do the best that you can. And the most important thing that I want you to do is breathe. Okay, cool. So what I'm doing in this Vinyasa series, or what I've been doing, is basically talking about Vinyasa. Vinyasa is a style of hatha yoga, and it is taking poses and sequencing them together into a flow, maybe kind of like a dance routine or just choreography. And it moves and it flows in and out of each other. And the most important thing is the breath. And how Vinyasa translates to our life off the mat is to I'm going to say it's a lot of different things for a lot of different people, and I say something different every day, but it's kind of how to sequence our life, we're using yoga to calm our nervous system, the fight or flight, the sympathetic, I believe, the fight or flight, and learn how to respond to it instead of react. We go into a situation and we react. We might scream, depending on what the situation is. We don't know what we'll do. We'll laugh, we'll cry, we'll run, or we'll fight. And we might not have to do either. We might just need to sit and just say, hey, what's going on here? So yoga is teaching us that, and the vinyasa is teaching us, as it's flowing in and out, it's teaching us to respond to each pose as we come into it before we go to the next pose. How often I know I have a monkey mind and it's jumping all around, and it is, I'm trying to do one thing, this thing, and before I finish this thing, I'm on to the next thing. So and then as I go into it, I'm starting to panic, and I'm like, oh God, what if I don't finish this? Oh my God. All right, you see, you're already getting like, oh, you're already getting anxiety listening to me talk like that, right? Because I know I am. So it's just teaching us to just stop for a moment. So we enter a pose, we see the sensation, and we're like, hey, my hip doesn't really like this pose, but let me sink into it. Let me feel it and see what it does. It's not hurting me, it's just sensation. So let me see what it does. Okay. Instead of saying, you know what, forget it, I'm not gonna do it, forget yoga, forget everything, forget it. Right? That's reacting and it's running. So that's what Vinyasa is doing. It's just helping us to maybe learn how to sequence our life a little bit better, to sit out and plan. And even though we plan, things are not going to go the exact way that we want them to go all the time, right? So that's the point, is how do we respond when we hit that moment where it's like, okay, this is not a part of my plan. What do I do now? Okay, you adjust, you find another path, you find a way around it, you find a way over it, or you keep trying and say, hey, this might not be my path, let me go a different way. All right, but we don't run from it, we don't go backwards. So that's a little bit about what I'm trying to do with this vinyasa, because going to a studio vinyasa class, that might be a little overwhelming. And even if you're a new student, it's just giving you the tools to stop and use your breath, no matter what anybody else in the room is doing, no matter if they're doing handstands or whatever, and it feels a little intimidating. At that point, you stop and you say, hey, you know what? I'm okay. I'm good. Let me just sit here and watch what's happening inside of myself. Cool? All right. So today, and then also in the intermediate series, we're going to just enter into different poses, like balancing poses. I didn't do any of that in the beginner. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of philosophy, just basic philosophy. I'm not going to lecture, even though I love to lecture. Just basic stuff to help you, just simple stuff to help you every day, right? So today's yama, which yamas are just, I see people popping up and I can't see you on Facebook. I can't see who it is. So hello, whoever you are. The screen is like way back there. So today's yama, so yamas are just like observances, nonviolence, truthfulness, just things that we need to be observing every day within ourselves so that we can put that out into the universe, right? So today's yama I'm going to talk about is truthfulness. And truthfulness is not just about telling a lie. It's about telling a lie to yourself. It's about being honest with yourself and what it is you can and can't do. And that's what we're going to use in this practice today. Our peak pose is bird of paradise. And when you see it, you might be like, what are you doing, right? And it's about being like truthful, like what part of this is not accessible to me and what part is, and I'm still doing the pose even though this thing in particular is not accessible to me, right? All right, so just think about that as we practice today for however long you're staying with me. Truthfulness. Am I being honest with myself? And not just on this mat, am I being honest with myself in what I'm doing in my life? Do I need to leave this job? Do I need to write this book? Yes, I do, even though it's a scary thing. What do you need to be truthful with ourselves so we can release all the crap, open up, and show ourselves to the world, right? Okay, truthfulness. Okay, good. All right, what else is on my little list? Okay, that was it, truthfulness. So we're gonna start moving. Yeah, I only took 6 minutes to talk. That's okay. All right, I want to start in a hero pose, a supported hero pose. So if you have a block or a pillow, something that is going to lift you up, it's going to lift you up a little bit higher. So it's going to lift your hips and your pelvis up so that this space in your quadriceps is a little bit more relaxed. It's not as tight. Top of the feet are going to be down, and we're not feeling anything on our knees. So the higher that we are might be a little bit more off our knees. The lower we are, this right here is really pulling on my knees, and you see I'm hunching over, right? So I'm going to sit here. If you do feel anything in your knees, feel free to put a blanket, maybe roll up your mat for support. All right. So we're going to sit up nice and tall in hero pose. Hopefully your mat is facing me so that you don't have to turn. I'm going to be doing a lot of turning, but I want to face the short edge of the mat because that is where we're going to begin. Okay, so let's start more towards the back of the mat into our seated hero pose. Watch my pelvis, right? I'm over dramatizing. I do this all the time. So my pelvis is tipped forward and it's putting a lot of pressure on my low back. So pull my ribs are popping. Pull everything in. Do you see my pelvis tilt to neutral? All right, so we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Shoulders are back and down. I want you to take 3 deep breaths in and out through the nose. So breathe in and let it out through the mouth, all right? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Each time that you exhale, let out your day. Let out whatever has happened thus far, because be good or bad, because it's over and we wanna move forward. And I know we love to hold the memory of wonderful things that happen to us. We also love to hold the memory of bad things that happen to us. And that's only going to cause us suffering. If we hold on to those happy things, then we're going to expect the rest of our life to look exactly like that. And we're not going to be open for the wonderful things that are going to come into our lives. And if we keep holding on to the bad things, we're also going to draw that in. So we want to clear out everything so that we can start, after this practice, we can start brand new. We can start every moment brand new. All right, 2 more. I know that was like 8 deep breaths. You're like, okay, I done breathe 2 more times. Can you stop talking? No, I'm never gonna stop talking, so. All right, close the lips. So you hear that ha sound in the back of the throat. Close the lips, make that same sound, in and out. That's our Ujjayi pranayama. And I just want you to flip your palms up. We got just a nice open hand mudra. This is a receiving. So just allowing allowing your life to receive, all right, with an open mind and an open heart. As you sit here, I want you to take 5 to 10 deep breaths in and out through the nose. That's our Ujjayi pranayama. And you might feel sensation in your hands. You might feel energy that you're receiving into your hands. And just sit really still and see how that affects your body. Again, let go, don't look for anything to happen. Because that's the beauty of life, is that those little tiny things and we're like, oh my gosh, wow, that was amazing. Keep working on those breaths. So look at me and just feel the energy radiating throughout your body. Remember, keep those ribs pulled in. We need to support the low back. Good, maybe about 3 more deep breaths. I'm gonna move to turn towards you so that you can see what we're doing during the first part. You stay where you are. That last big breath, inhale, and exhale. Good, so from here, we're gonna take a bind. I'm always moving at the wrong times. Let me stay here for a second. All right, we're gonna take a bind behind the low back right here. So interlace the fingers, lock them in together, and then I want you to pull down towards the tailbone, towards the mat, and open the chest. Now watch my ribs, they popped open, and you saw that little tilt in the pelvis again. Pull the ribs in and lengthen from the upper back. Good? Good, good, good. Now come back up and inhale, and then I want you to exhale. Bring this fist, bring your interlaced fingers to your right hip. So I'm gonna turn to the front so you can see that. All right, turn towards, great. So this fist over here is towards my right hip, right? So now you're feeling that stretch in the left shoulder, and I want you to take this right elbow and hug it behind the back. Good, so nice shoulder opener. Hopefully you feel that. All right, now that you see what I'm doing, I'm gonna come back right here. All right. Very good. So this pose that we're doing today is all about binding and opening the shoulders and opening up the hips, opening up the body. So a lot of the poses that we're gonna do to prep for it are gonna be this. All right, inhale, take that bind again, and then exhale, switch to the other side. All right, I'm not gonna turn back to the camera because you just saw what we did. Take that left elbow, hug it behind you, hug both elbows behind you so that the shoulder blades can come together. And I gotta pull my belly in, and this side is a little tighter for me, so I'm gonna lower my left shoulder down. So you can tell immediately which shoulder is like a little bit tighter, which shoulder is like, ah, oh my God. Take a few breaths. We're gonna do this part one time just because we got a lot of shoulder openers, a lot of them. Good, release it, inhale, and then exhale. Good, release this. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky, interlace the fingers again, flip the palms up. We gotta do a little stretchy stretch of the wrists. Yes, I said stretchy stretch. All right, so let's bring those biceps by the ears. Good, relax the shoulder blades down. Did you see that? So look here, my shoulders are up and then they're down. And I'm hugging my shoulder blades together behind me, pressing and turning my wrist up. Be safe on those wrists. So if they don't turn up a lot, please don't force, all right? Especially if this is your first time doing this today or if this is your first time doing this ever. And we're stabilizing these shoulders by pulling them back behind us. Good? Good, one more breath. Now we're going to grab both elbows, all right? Grab both elbows, opposite elbows, excuse me, and then pull the biceps again by the ears. All right, so when you do this, it's gonna wanna look like this, but again, pull those ribs in, pull the belly in, and keep guiding those shoulder blades back behind you. Oh, nice shoulder openers, nice, nice, very nice. Good. 1 or 2 more breaths, keep breathing. If you want to hold this for longer, you can. Good, release it, come down. We're gonna come up into puppy pose. So you're gonna come through table. I forgot, let me start some music. All right, music is started. All right, let me move this out the way. I think we're done with that. So we're gonna come into puppy pose. Knees, why am I pointing to my hips and these are my knees? Hips over knees. And then we're gonna walk our fingertips out and bring the forehead down. All right, pull the belly up and in. And you're gonna feel your shoulders. It's a little weird if you have to back off. If it's hurting you, you can come to the forearms. But if you have the space in the shoulders, reach all the way out. So right now, I'm gonna come up. You'll know if it feels like it's pulling too much. You'll know that, okay? You can still come to your forearms and bring the head down. I'm still feeling it. Vinyasa or yoga is just about awareness and knowing when to back off, all right? And not forcing yourself to do something that you are not ready to do right now. Good. Let's push back up into table pose. And I want you to curl your toes, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Good, start to pedal out the feet. This is our first downward facing dog. And then move the hips, move the body in whatever way you need to. All right, and then let's walk our hands back towards the feet and step the feet just a little bit wider. All right, put a bend into your left knee. All right, keep your left hand down, and I want you to open up and twist towards the right. So right arm is going to reach. Good. Now, listen carefully. Flip the palm, and I want you to bend the elbow. Bring that hand behind your back. So imagine you're trying to put your right hand into your left pocket. Good. Take this left hand and then reach it behind your hip to meet your right hand. All right, I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Good. Do you see it? Hopefully that's okay. So it's around the outside of the thigh, around the outside of the hip. Good, open back up. Put that right hand down. Straighten the left leg, bend the right knee. Plant the hand, open towards the left. Reach that left arm up towards the sky. Good, let's take the bind, flip the palm, bend the elbow. Reach that left hand into the right pocket. Take that right hand, reach on the outside. So tricep is on the outside of the hip, and then reach for the bind. Breathe. Good. Release this twist. Bring the left hand down, straighten the legs. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, walk out to downward facing dog. Good. Pedal out. All right. That was the end of our first sequence. If you have to go, thank you for coming. If you can stay a little bit more, let's do the next sequence. All right, lift this left leg up towards the sky. Turn the hips down. Step that foot through between the hands. Back knee is gonna come down. That's just in case I need to review my notes. Inhale, reach up. Anjaneyasana. All right, Anjaney. Hips are facing forward. This is a low lunge. You're gonna feel this hip flexor, this right hip flexor and the quad pressing into the mat. This right left knee can go past the toe since we're grounded. All right, if you want. Remember the ribs, pull them in, root the tailbone down, reach. Keep guiding that knee and line it up, line that hip up with the, the knee up with the hip. Good, let's sit back into a half split, all right? If you need blocks, let me grab some blocks so I can show you what that looks like. Or some books or something like that. You can put them by your side, inhale, half lift, and then exhale, fold in. Good, so now we got this hamstring muscle that's stretching, calf maybe, flex through the toes, keep the knee soft, plug this hip in. Did you see what I just did? I'm gonna do it on purpose. So here's my right hip back, my left hip is forward. I'm gonna bring my left hip forward, or my left hip back and my right hip forward. Good, we're gonna come forward back into Anjaneyasana, reach. We're gonna plant the palms, curl these back toes under, lift up into standing splits. Good. Turn the hips down. Maybe take this left thumb and put it in the crease of the left hip and peel that left hip open as this right leg lifts. Good. We're going to step back into a pyramid pose. All right. So step the right foot back. Both legs are straight. Good. We're going to take a half lift. Hands are going to come to the hips. And then exhale, we're going to fold into a pyramid. We're going to hug these elbows back. So each progression of this is going to help. You're going to be needing to guide those elbows back so you don't round in. All right, so let's hug these elbows together, hands to the hips. Keep the knee as straight as you can. Keep guiding it out to the left. Good. Good, inhale, all the way up. This time I want you to do that elbow bind. Remember that? Good. Hug the elbows. There are the shoulder blades behind you. and then exhale, come back into the pyramid. So this is challenging because you can't support your fingertips down. If you need to, always feel free to do that. Let me show you. If you need to, you can come here if this is too much. All right? Keep those elbows hugging, or your shoulder blades hugging behind you, shoulder blades back. Good. Inhale, one more bind. If you can, we're going to take a reverse prayer behind the back. All right, so let me turn around and show you first. So you see my palms are together in prayer behind me. That's going to force you, you're going to press the heels of your hands together. That's going to force you to hug your shoulder blades together. All right, that's our last one. So now you see with this bind, it's harder for me to fold because of the tightness. Okay, so I'm just going to fold here. But you're still feeling the hamstrings, calves, and shoulders. Good. Inhale, lift up. Release that. Exhale, fold down. Bring the fingertips down, and we're going to step back into a wider stance so we can come into warrior one. Bend this left knee. Inhale and reach up. Okay. Let's just hold for warrior one for a few breaths. Now this toe is turned out. All right. Hips are neutral, but this femur bone is externally rotated. And I want you to remember, if you've been with me, take the muscle. Imagine you're trying to wrap it behind you. You see how my hips turn? Good. And lunge into that front knee. Where do you want? Good. I like to bring my fingertips together, but you don't have to. Straighten through this leg. And I want you to challenge yourself to keep looking up. We're going to turn the left toes forward. We're going to turn the right toes out. And we're going to come into warrior one on the other side. Nice? Good. Same thing. Imagine those inner thigh muscles wrapping behind you so that the hips can turn forward. Good. Or so that, yeah, so the hips can turn forward. Even though this bone is externally rotating. Good. All right, now we're going to exhale, bring the fingertips down. Now we have to do the pyramid. We have to do it on this side. So maybe step your foot in a little closer. Woo, I can really feel my right hamstring. Whoa. Inhale, half lift. Hands to the hips. That was the first one. Pull the shoulder blades back and then fold in. Keep those hips, hip wrapping back, left hip wrapping forward. Keep those shoulder blades hugging together. Remember, try not to lock the knee. Inhale, come all the way up. We got the elbow bind. Let's do it. Good. Now, all of these binds are available, whichever one is best for you. Good. Last one is the reverse prayer. So bring the palms of the hands together, hug those shoulder blades back, and then fold in. Woo. All right. Yep, this hamstring is like, Regina, what are you doing? Truthfulness. I'm on video, I'm live, I don't know who's watching. I don't want to be fancy and hurt myself, right? We want to be our own fancy selves. And I'm my fancy self right now. I'm my authentic self. And we want to be that at all times to everybody. Good. Plant the hands, step back, Vinyasa. So move forward on the toes, bend the elbows just a little bit. Flip the feet, tops of the feet, up dog. That's my variation. Down dog. Good. Right leg lifts. Step it through. We got that Anjane series. Remember that? Reach up. Anjaneyasana. You can't hear the music. I gotta turn the music up. Good. All right. Sit back into the half splits. Remember, if you need a block or a book or just something to prop you up, that's fine. Otherwise, if you plant your palms, just make sure you're not rounding your shoulders, okay? And breathe. Remember, flex through the toes, soft knee. Plugs that hip in, keeps the knee safe. Good, inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the palms, standing splits. Woo! We might need the blocks for standing splits too, I know I do. Inhale, and then fold in. Good, we got the pyramid sequence. Good. All right. Inhale, hands to the hips. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Elbow, exhale. So you see we're moving a little bit faster through Vinyasa. Inhale, prayer hands behind the back. Exhale. Move safely and with your breath. Inhale, release. Exhale, plant the palms. Let's step back to warrior one. Inhale. Okay, take an exhale, settle in. Inhale, look up, keep looking up. Turn the right toes forward. Turn the left toes out. If you can't look up, you can always look forward. Don't worry about it. Warrior one on the other side. Good. Good, let's hands down. Let's take the sequence one more time. Half lift, hands to the hips, fold in. Hug those shoulder blades together. Inhale all the way up. Elbow bind. Exhale. Shoulders away from the ears, shoulders back and down. One more time. Inhale. Reverse prayer. And fold. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Release. Exhale to fold. Plant the palms. Step back. Woo. Move through Vinyasa. So bend your elbows just a little. Tops of the feet, pull your heart through. That way we're keeping the shoulders safe. And we're doing good. Good, rise to the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands. Step up, forward fold. Let me turn up the music a little tiny bit. Oh, the speaker's not really loud, sorry. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Let's take a bind behind the back. Good, just like we did in Hero. I'm thinking of Cheerios. Inhale, reach. Take a side bend over to the right. Grab your left wrist. Good, come back to the center. Inhale, take a side bend over to the left. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, swing the arms behind you. Coming into a kind of a diver chair pose. Good, sit the hips back. This is not even in my notes. I'm adding this on. I'm like, this will be good. We haven't done a chair yet. All right, reach the arms. Let's do chair. Belly in. Sit back like you're trying to sit in one of those little kindergarten chairs. Shoulders back and down. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. Swing the arms behind you. Tip forward. Yes. So we're at 90 degrees. Start to straighten through the knees. Come up onto the toes. Well, we're gonna dive. And if you feel like you're gonna fall, the ground is right there. Come on your tippy toes. Good, plant your palms, step back. Vinyasa. Good. Let's start with the right leg, lift it up. Left leg, lift it up, sorry. Step through between the hands. Warrior two. So you always wanna find your base before you move, all right? 90 degrees. Front heel in line with the back inner arch. Lift yourself up with the belly, belly, core muscles. Open the arms out to a T. Warrior two. Let's stay here for a minute. Good. Good. Bend into that knee, so 90 degrees. Let's check this for a moment. This left hand you can take, open that knee out. You feel that right there? Good. This back foot, let's do that same thing. Wrap those thigh muscles behind you. Look what it does. It lifts my butt up. So do this and root the tailbone at the same time. Make sense? I hope so. You stay there. I gotta get some circulation going on in here. Always want to have circulation, ventilation. All right. All right. Reverse. Warrior. Same lunge in the front knee. Keep breathing. Take this back bend or this side bend. Good. Side angle pose. Good. I'm going to give you some options. You stay there. I'm going to give you some options because we're going to need side angle pose in order to get into our peak pose. Good. You can have the forearm on the thigh, left or right arm reaches. You can bring the palm to a block. Okay. And if you have the space, you can change the levels. Woo, that's a lot. And then you can come here, right? I'm gonna go here. Ooh. All right, from here, sky archer, straighten through that left knee, and then take the left wrist and go behind. Nice. Keep breathing. So we're building this sequence. Good. From here, we're gonna go into triangle pose. I'm gonna move my foot in just a little bit. Reach that left arm out and down, right arm reaches. I'm gonna grab the brick again. So here's options. If you feel like you're reaching and you look like this and your chest is turned down, that's not space, not about being pretty, it's about the space in your body. So I want you to grab a brick. If you have the space, maybe grab your big toe. Good, just make sure that chest is turned up. Are you breathing? Good. From here, we're gonna lift up into a half moon pose. So bend into this left knee, lift that back leg. Woo! I'm gonna use a brick for a second to stabilize. Hip in line with ankle. Belly muscles in to support. Breathe. If you wanna try it without the brick, woo, you can. Just squeeze those belly muscles. Nice. All right, we're gonna step down slowly, back into warrior two, and then we're gonna take warrior two to the back of the mat. Good. All right, let's feel it here first. Feel it? Same thing. You can take this right hand, open that knee out. Let the knee go towards the middle toe or the baby toe. Good, so we don't want it dipping in, because that's gonna hurt. The point of alignment is just to make sure that we're loading the joints correctly and safely so that we don't hurt ourselves. Good. Wrap this hip behind you, remember that? Or root the tailbone. Good. Now from here, we're gonna take a side angle modification. So start here. So this is where we're gonna practice on the second side, is where we're gonna practice our bird of paradise when we get to it, all right? So I want you to be here with this side angle pose. Good. Yeah, come on back up to warrior two and take humble. Interlace behind the back, open the chest. We've done this a ton of times. And then exhale. Since we're in warrior two, I want you to fold in. See if you can put your shoulder inside your right thigh. But stay in warrior two. This is gonna be important. Good. Release. Plant the palm, step back. Vinyasa. You can also use your knees if you want. Up dog, down dog. Let's do the right side. Right leg lifts. Step through between the hands. Get your base in line first. Come on up. Warrior two. Woo! Your leg is like we just did warrior two, Regina. What are you doing? That's what my thigh is saying. What are you doing? Can we get a little rest? No. All right, what do we do? Remember? Reverse. Good. Side angle. Nice. Remember your variations with the block. Sky archer. Woo, nice. Triangle, remember? So you can use the block, or you can grab the big toe. I'm going to show you what I look like trying to do the big toe on this side. Okay? Since my hamstrings are tight, I don't have space. So I'm going to get a block so that I can open. Do you remember what was next? Half moon. Let's do it. Bend into this right knee and lift off. Good. Keep breathing. Good. Come on down. So we'll move through warrior two To the other side, warrior two. Take that side angle variation, warrior two, and then humble. So remember, fold in, see if you can get that left elbow inside of the left thigh. Don't set it on top, don't rest. Try to bring it on top. And open out. Good. Nice, plant the palms, step back. Vinyasa, let me show you with knees. That's knees. All right, rise to the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands, step up. Forward fold, half lift, forward fold. Inhale up, take the bind, inhale. Good, exhale, hold. Inhale, reach back up. Let's take those side bends. Left and right. Inhale, chair flying thing. Let's call it that. Chair fly. Chair. Bring the arms back, fold in more. Start to straighten the knees. Come up on your tippy toes, like you're getting ready to dive. Don't be afraid, the floor is right there. Good, plant the palms, step back. Vinyasa. Left leg lifts. Going a little bit quicker this time. Plant the feet. Warrior two. Good. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, sky archer. Good. Exhale, come down with the hand. And then inhale, triangle. Very good. Take an exhale. Bend into the knee. And then lift up to half moon. Woo, slowly come down. Try to do it with control. Warrior two to the other side. Side angle modification. Humble. Bring it in. Now from here, I want you to lift up just a little bit. See if you can bring this right palm down to the other side of the foot. You put your hand on your hip, whatever you want to do. We're prepping for this pose. Put the palms, step back. Take your knees, meet me at down dog, whatever you need. Right leg lifts. Step through between the hands. Warrior two. See how it flows? Reverse. Side angle. Good, sky archer. Inhale. And then exhale, inhale, open a triangle. Good. And then we got our half moon. I always put my hand down first. Good, step back. Warrior two, transition. Warrior two on the other side. Take those side angle modification. And then lift up. Take humble. Bring the shoulder into the knee, into the thigh. Lift up a little bit one more time. Now take the left palm, see if you can put it on the outside of that left foot. Good. Open the shoulders. So remember these because these are all options. Plant the palms. Woo! Down dog. Give me about 5 breaths here. I'm just checking the time. Good. We're going to start to move to that pivotal pose during this last round. Rise to the toes. Bend the knees. Look up. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold in. Inhale up. Do you remember? Back bend, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Side bends. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Back to the center. Swing the arms behind. Bend the knees. Fix the pelvis. Good. Inhale, chair. Exhale, swing those arms behind. Start to straighten the knees. Come up onto the tippy toes. You're going to fall. No, you're not. Step back. Nice. Left leg. Warrior two. Good. Are we getting it? What's next? Reverse. Side angle. Sky archer. Triangle. Half moon. Woohoo. Ah. Get step back. Warrior two. Let's go to the other side. All right. Side angle modifications. All right. Take the bind. Good. Now, if you weren't with me last week, it's okay. I just want you to try. You're going to bring this hand down. We also used the strap last week, too. So, I'm wondering, should I grab a strap? Nope. You know what? Because I didn't tell you. Let's just try and see what happens. But if you want to grab a strap, actually, yes, I'm going to show you. All right. Strap is going to be in my left hand. All right. Let's imagine we have the strap already. Okay. All right. So this top hand is up with the strap. Flip the palm. We did it earlier. Bring the strap behind you. Good. Reach underneath. Grab the strap with your right hand and then open back up. Make sure the strap is on the outside of the hip like we did in the beginning. Good. Open. Good. Good. Release, plant the palm, step back. All right, right leg lifts. So that's the bind, warrior two. Now, side angle. We're going to work with the bind on the next side. Reverse. And then we're going to go into bird of paradise. Reverse, right? Yeah, side angle. And then sky archer, sorry. Triangle. Good, half moon. Good, warrior two. Let's go back to the other side. I'm gonna bring the strap with me and put it in my right hand. Side angle mod. Get the bind. What is this? This is my shoulder inside the thigh. Good. Lift up a little bit. Bring this left hand down. Right hand comes up. Flip the palm. Whoops. Bring the strap behind you. Reach underneath. Grab the strap. Open back up. Good. I can get the bind on this side, so I'm going to release the strap. And I'm going to open up. Just make sure that you're hugging those shoulder blades together and the shoulders are open. Let me show you. Open, right? Plant the palms. Step back. Woo! Remember, you can skip that if you want. You can come right to downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Find your breath. Child's pose is also available. Let me show you. Big toes together, knees apart. Good. Lift the left arm, rise to the toes, bend the knees, look up between the hands, step up, forward fold, half lift, fold in, all the way up. What's next? Back bend, right? Inhale, or exhale. Inhale, side bends. Don't forget. Inhale, that flying chair. We're going to call it a flying chair. And then chair. Good. And then swing the arms behind you. Start to straighten the knees. Come up onto the tip toes. Plant the palms, step back. Toward the end, you may have to use your knees. You may have to come to down dog. Left leg lifts. Warrior two. Reverse. Open the chest, hug the shoulder blades. Side angle. Nice. Try to get more space in the legs. Sky archer. Good. Triangle. Half moon. You got it. Woo. Good. Warrior two. Let's go to the other side. Bring your strap with you. If you don't have it, warrior two. Side angle mod. Take the bind. Behind the back. Shoulder inside of the knee. Push it open to the right. Lift up. Plant this palm down. Take the top arm up. Left arm up. Flip it behind you. Bring the strap down. Reach for it. All right. Lift up. All right, here we go. Now, listen carefully. Chest is still open. I want you to start to walk your left foot towards your right. Good? So far, so good. If this is what you got, I want you to stay here. If you got the bind, I want you to do it. Breathe. Keep walking your hands together toward each other on the strap. Walk them as close to a bind as you can get. Now I want you to balance. You see me bouncing on my left leg? Balance. Squeeze the belly. Lift up. Uh-oh, we got it. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Try to keep your balance. And then go ahead and extend your leg. Breathe. Bird of paradise. Nice. Stay stable. Couple more breaths. Now I want you to slowly try to come out of it. The same way that you came in. Good? Hiya! Lift the palm, step back. Woo! Left side. Woo! Right leg lifts. Warrior two. Reverse. Catch your breath. Side angle. Good. Sky archer. And triangle. Good. Half moon. Lift it up. Step back. Warrior two. Let's try warrior two on the other side. Working towards our bird of paradise on this side. I'm not going to use a strap, but you can. Take the modifications. First, to get the body ready. Good. Lift the palm behind you. Take the bind. Open first. If this is where you stay here and keep opening. Otherwise, walk that back foot in. Right foot comes in. Shift the weight to the right foot. Come onto the left toes. Squeeze the belly muscle. Slowly come on up. Woo-hoo. Good. Extend the leg. Bird of paradise. We got it. Try to come out of it the same way that you came in. Bend back. Oh my God, take your vinyasa. Let's push back into child's pose because I need it. All right, sit back to the heels. Reach the fingertips out, bring the head down. I'm gonna stay here on my forearms just because it's easier for me to breathe this way. I'm not dizzy or anything, but you just want to notice what feels right. It just feels better than that right now, okay? So it doesn't matter. It has to feel good to you before you move on, right? It's so important. Stay there in child's pose for a few more breaths. I'm gonna change the music. Stay there. We're good. All right. Now, when you're ready, I want you to come on up to table pose, and then curl your toes, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. We're gonna come into a pigeon pose. So lift your left leg up and bring it through and bring the knee, your left knee, to the left wrist and bring your left ankle to your right wrist, okay? So that we have, bring the knee down back here, so that the shin is parallel to the front of the mat, okay? Scooch this knee in so you can get a little bit more space, okay? Now wrap that left hip back behind you and bring this right knee to the center. So it's like you're hugging your inner thighs together. Good. Pull the belly in. Now I want you to curl these toes, right toes, lift the knee up, start to walk it back. I only want you to walk it back as far as you can while still keeping this shin parallel. If your shin is like not even here, it's not parallel, I'm okay, it's okay. If your knee is like this, totally fine. Totally fine, because you're still opening up your hips, you're working towards it. Even if only thing I'm worried about, or only thing that concerns me, is you're wrapping that left hip back, you're plugging that femur bone in, and you're not creating any distress on your hips, okay? That's the only thing I'm worried about. You do not have to worry about ever getting here. That's not the point, because maybe your body is not made that way, okay? So we get it, we want to have teachers, we want to listen to the teachers guide us into alignment. I'm trying to find a slow song. We want to have teachers guide us into alignment. We don't want in our minds, because they're not doing that. We don't want in our minds to force us to get into how they look, okay? So again, scooch back as far as you can. You're gonna feel your hip, that left hip plugging back. It's okay. For me, I might need to put a cushion up underneath this hip to rest it. Okay, that's totally fine. All right, so block is there. You also, if this left hip doesn't come down, you also might put a brick underneath that. These props are not a crutch. A lot of times we go into a yoga room and we're like, I don't need it. A lot of my students say when you say during the yoga, I don't need a block. I don't need one. And it's not about how long you've been practicing. I've been practicing forever. And look, I still need, because we don't know what's gonna happen every time we come to the mat, all right? So I don't want you to judge yourself, and I don't want you to think that blocks are a crutch. They are support, and they are there to help you create space in your body. So right now, I got space. You can stay here as you have been, because we're gonna hold this for a little bit, or you can walk out to the forearms. Whatever you do, keep plugging that left hip back, or you can walk all the way down and bring your forehead down. I'm gonna stay here. Only thing I want you to do is make sure that the hips are squared down and not off to the right or to the left or the other way. So breathe. Give me about 8 more breaths. I know while I was lecturing, that was like 25 breaths. But that's okay. 8 more breaths is not gonna do any harm. We're trying to release all that tissue, that fascia, those muscles that are like, cramped up. We're trying to release those, lengthen them out. And again, I don't want you to let anybody tell you that what you're doing is not right. As long as you are loading your joints successfully and safely, and you are doing the pose correctly. I'm just here to give you space to try to give yourself more space. Very good. If you're on the forearms, lift up. All right, I'm gonna take these bricks out. I'm gonna roll onto my right hip, or excuse me, my left hip, and I'm gonna swing this left leg around to cross the body. So the right foot is gonna come to the outside of the left knee. Right foot outside the left thigh. All right, sit this butt cheek down. Good. Lift up and lengthen. Right fingertips come behind you. Left arm is gonna wrap around. And you're gonna twist. And this arm is gonna pull your knee in towards you across the body, and you're gonna feel it in this right hip. Keep breathing. And I know I didn't say truthfulness, since that's our thing. I didn't say it a whole bunch, but I hope that you got that it's so important. Unwind, take this leg back behind you to be honest and authentic with yourself, no matter what it looks like. Good. Curl these right toes under, lift up, shake this right leg, left leg out. All right, we got to do the left side, right side, excuse me, right leg comes through, Knee comes to the right wrist, ankle comes to the left wrist. Scooch this left leg in towards the body and make this shin as parallel as you can make it to the front of the mat. Curl the toe, lift up, and extend back. So you see, this is what I got on this side. Okay, I'm wrapping this hip back, right? And I'm turning my torso forward. I'm gonna get some support here because that just feels better. It helps me. Lift up the chest. And again, if you want to fold in, go ahead. We're gonna do 8 breaths. So pull the shoulder blades back. Try not to hunch. You see the difference? Pull back. Lift up the chest. This pose is not meant to feel good, especially because we are always tight in our hip section. Not meant to feel necessarily good, but it's going to be good for you. So as you feel that fascia release, I just want you to breathe through it. Don't run. Excuse me, I spit. Respond. Don't react. Try not to react. Now 5 more breaths. Good. Press up through the hands. If you're there, I'm going to take the brick off. I'm going to roll onto my right hip, and I'm going to swing this left leg around. Put the foot on the outside of the knee. I'm going to take my left fingertips behind me, reach up with my right arm, wrap the eye of the elbow around the knee, and twist to my left. I'm going to turn the light out. We're coming down. Slowly unwind. Take this left leg behind you. Come back to the front. Curl the left toes under. Lift up. Shake this leg out. Again, I want you to come onto your knees and swing your legs around. And reach up. Hold in. Good. Release where you are, slowly come up. I want you to bend into the knees. And take some knee sways with the hips, or with the knees. Roll onto the hips. Kind of like a myofascial release, like on a foam roller, in a sense. Good. Now, if you would like to take a Shavasana, go ahead and lie back. And you can stay there for as long as you want. But because of the time, number one, and because of the time of day, kind of want to keep our energy up. So let's take our rest here in a seated, easy seat. We're going to take the Gaian mudra that we learned on Sunday. So index finger, thumb together. The rest of the fingers are going to point outward. Turn the palms face up. Relax the shoulders, sit up tall, close the eyes. We're going to take rest. Very good. Keep the eyes soft or closed. You can release the fingers. Open up the hands. Maybe do a little rotation of the wrist. And wiggle the fingers. If you need to stretch your legs out and shake your legs out, go ahead and do that. If you're in Shavasana, I want you to do the same thing. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Open and close your hands. Do a little rotation of the wrists and ankles. We can turn our head from left to right, nice and slow. If you're in Shavasana, bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest, roll off onto your right side. And before you push up, just determine how you would like to create this moment, how you would honestly like to create this moment. Come to a seated position if you're not there yet. Inhale, reach up the arms. Bring the palms together, lower down through the heart. Anjali Mudra, bow the chin. Feel that tension release in the back. I do. In the back of the neck. Honor yourself first. You need to fill yourself up first before you can pour into anyone else. All right, that's so important. It is also important to be honest with yourself about everything, because if you're not honest with yourself, how can you be honest with those around you? If you're not honest with yourself, how can you live the life that you are supposed to be living? Even though you're holding on to this old stuff and like, no, this is the way that my life was supposed to be, it's the way. But if it's causing you suffering and you're not feeling it, let it go. Be honest, just let it go. I honor and bow and support the light in you. Namaste. I thank you so much for joining me via Zoom. I want to thank you so much for joining me via Facebook. You're there, and Zoom is here. Join me on Wednesday. Friday is the last in the intermediate series. I don't know what our peak pose is or topic is, but I'll see you then. And then next week, we're going into the advanced. And what the advanced is we're going to start to work with a little more intensity. We're going to put the standing poses, the balancing poses together. We're also going to work more on our arms. We're going to work towards some, I'm not going to say easy inversions, but they're going to challenge you, because what do? We use our legs most of the time, and we don't use our arms a lot of the time. And then when we think about going upside down, that freaks us out. So I don't want you to think about any of that because we're going to build to it. So trust me, I'm not an ace handstand inversioner. No, I'm not. I'm still learning too. We're going to use the wall for it. I probably move the camera so you can get to the wall so you can see me from the side. But other than that, I will see you on Friday for the last in this intermediate series. Thank you for joining me on Facebook. Thank you for joining me here. It'll be posted on YouTube a little bit later. So I'm getting ready to sign off.